All right, so as I'm refurbishing or restoring a Scott kiln, I thought I should do a quick video about taking care of kiln furniture. Kiln furniture can be a struggle for most potters, and they might not even know it. That's right. The number one problem I see in kilns, both in hobbyist and professional use, is the kiln shelves. A lot of potters, they don't take good care of their shelves. Normally what happens is if there's a kiln malfunction and things overheat, you'll get some warping, sometimes not proper storage if you're not using it. Sometimes it can create some issues, but overall what I see most people doing right is kiln wash. And sometimes not so much even that. Sometimes they will only do 3 coats, but the 3 coats are very thin, so it's more like a coat and a half. You have to make sure that you have enough kiln wash, but that's something that I'll do in the next video. So here we are with some kiln shelves, and as you can tell, this is warped a little bit, but there was a kiln tragedy and looked like some crystalline glazes, and even the clay started to melt. Looked like maybe a porcelain or a white stoneware, probably something that shouldn't have been in with cone 10 firing, because most of the pots melted into this. And this is not the baddest shelf that I've worked on so far with this set, but here you have a relatively bad kiln shelf, and as you can tell, this already has craters from someone using a grinder, probably with the wrong tip and the wrong technique. So we're going to make sure that we do know how to take care of kiln shelves when there's glaze all over them. So I really hope that you don't ever have to do this, but in case if you do, or in my position where you get a kiln and you need to work on it, here's what you need to do. I have a sturdy workbench. What I'm using is just my DeWalt electric, and I don't recommend this just for the purposes of safety, but do not use a grinder without a guard. For this one, I didn't have a large enough guard, so I'm just doing this for now, but I don't recommend it. Don't do it. But I brought this. It's for concrete and masonry work, and this could be purchased for like $20, $23 on Amazon, and it's this brand. Of course, it's flipped because this is video, but I'll put it in the link. And as you can tell, it has some good teeth with diamond, what I call powder, but diamond bits for good concrete work. So a lot of people go ahead and they start digging with a thin grinder disc. Now you don't want to do that. As you can see with the cratering, and you have less control of, well, what happens is you lose control and you dig into the kiln shelf. With this, is not only strong enough to tear through the glaze and the refractory shelves, but it has a wider surface and able to chip or smooth out the glaze imperfections in a flat, consistent way. So as you begin to grind, it's very important that the things that are raised, perhaps there's a large bit of glaze, perhaps there's a bit of clay. You want to gently tap and slowly move around the disc, slowly. You always want to make sure that you have constant movement of the grinding disc, or else you will start to bury the head or the disc inside of the kiln, or the shelf. So you're going to slowly feather it out. Once you get most of the glaze up, grind it off and flat, you're going to go ahead and feather out the whole thing in such a way that you don't have any craters, any unevenness, and you could actually restore the top to the original finish. So this is great. Of course, you don't want to do this every time that you get a little spot, because you only have certain thickness to your shelves, but this is a great way to fix up a terrible, terrible day of firing and seeing a shelf go wonky. So this is how you fix it. So go ahead and see what you can learn here. And remember, always put the mask on with this. This will kill your lungs. So this is the final product. Of course, you have some craters from the last grinding that someone did, but you try to kind of feather that out a little bit, and it looks like almost brand new. It does teach you something about how important kiln wash is and how many layers you should really consider before burning, because if you do have a malfunction, could cost a lot of money and time for you. So let's be smart. But if we had to take on someone else's mistake, this is how you do it.